You were just in Sacramento to see Kyrie and the Kyrie and the new look Mavs with Luka Doncic and just the new look Mavs in general. Where are the Mavs head at right now, right? Because are they in the mode where they feel like they have to sell themselves on Kyrie because Kyrie has not signed an extension yet? What is that dynamic like? And what are the early vibes telling you about Kyrie and the Mavs and where that's going to be as a partnership going forward?
Man, to be determined. I think it's gonna be fun to watch. They lose to the Kings in the debut with Luka and Kyrie together, but you see glimpses. It's and this part was actually a lot of fun to watch. Like it's cool to watch stars, like these are high level stars, Luka, Kyrie, go through the creative process of figuring out how to play with one another. And so it's a tight game in Sacramento, and late in that game, you can see the deference coming from Kyrie because it's Luka's team. And then at the end, and Luka spoke on this afterwards, in the OT period, he ends up missing a step back three from the left wing when Kyrie had, maybe had a better look off to the side. Luka says publicly, I should have passed it back to Kyrie. And so they're figuring it out, the power structure, and they're going to be good. That's the here and the now. Defensively, they're going to struggle. We know that. But it feels big picture very much like it's a trial period. I would not be shocked at all if Kyrie was somewhere else this summer. And even the fact that the way things unfolded after that trade went down, I think probably applied a fair amount of pressure to the Mavs. If they, in fact, want to have some kind of long-term relationship with Kyrie, you look up a couple days after you get all the NBA headlines, and now here come the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant, in the Western Conference. And oh, by the way, with a point guard and Chris Paul, whose contract next season is only guaranteed for half his salary. And there's an avenue for, if you need to, bring Kyrie out to Phoenix and get him back with Kevin, you can do that. If Kyrie wants to go to the Lakers, you can do that. The Mavs do not have pole position here, in my opinion. And, and I don't know if they want it yet. They got to see how it looks, but the landscape changed quick.
All right. I got a few thoughts. Number one, to answer your question, Logan, that you originally asked, it doesn't matter what it looks like with Kyrie right now. It's of no consequence, because if he's proven nothing over his career, it don't matter what it looks like right now, because tomorrow he can make his mind up that something wasn't right or he was offended, and he just moves different in that way. It's not even, I don't necessarily see it as a negative. I see Kyrie as a dude and an athlete, as a human being that doesn't subscribe to having to conform to what you think normal is and the way an NBA player or athlete in general is supposed to act. He just does kind of what he wants to do. Now, if I were on his team, and I've said this before, sometimes that could be really fucking selfish and it could put teams in really shitty spots. But I think he just really is a dude who is yo, that shit could be really good today, and I could have all the feels and really want to be here, and I could wake up 2 days from now and just tell you, hey man, I'm good. I want to be out. It's the way he moves, right? He's giving me enough of a sample size now. I do have a question, Sam. I don't know if you can really answer this. I'm fascinated by it. The relationship between KD and Kyrie. Is it still really strong? Because you mentioned the possibility of maybe, in the future, did KD deep down harbor any kind of resentment for the way Kyrie moved in Brooklyn? Sure. I don't know. I'm asking.
No, I honestly don't. I mean, Logan looks like he might know. He's nodding. I don't truly know. And I think common sense tells you, I think outside looking in, we look at it how in the hell could you not? You had a plan. We know the video was at the Charlotte All-Star weekend when Kyrie and Kevin were talking about teaming up together. So it went from that, where Kyrie holds the two fingers up and says they got two max spots, and that ends up being Brooklyn. And then you add James Harden to the mix, and you had a runway where you could have been champions again. But that didn't happen. It's hard to imagine he doesn't have some hard feelings over that. But also, Kevin in general, I think is a guy who compartmentalizes. I really think he does. And I think basketball-wise, if he looked at it and saw Kyrie as the best path to, more success in Phoenix, maybe he looks at it. And even quick final thought there, I would like to know the current state of the Durant Chris Paul dynamic. There were times in the past where they didn't seem to be the best of friends. And, I mean, this league is, guys just end up deciding it's time to go to work and be professional and work together. But, there's nuance, there's complications there. But I don't know. I don't know where he's at with Kyrie.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I think that they're better than most people would think. I think that, everything that I had heard when I was out there and all the stuff that I'd seen, and I'm sure Roger can corroborate some of the stuff that he heard. Whenever there was the front office stuff, it would always seem like Kevin and Kyrie were just against the front office and what they deemed were mess ups from the front office. And I don't think it's a coincidence that each time that Kyrie made a trade request, Kevin was right behind him and like, oh, okay, I guess we're leaving now. It wasn't one of those things where it seemed like they were like, okay, we're here until we're not. And their partnership in Brooklyn has always been sort of together. Okay, I guess we're going to go to Brooklyn, and if it doesn't work out, then I guess we'll dip, but that's not going to affect our friendship. And I think that I don't think there's a beef at all. I think that it's just one of those things where, whether it seems logical to us or not, that doesn't really matter. But I felt like, and I've reported this in the past, and I've said this type of stuff in the past where, when Kyrie had a problem with the front office, Kevin was also like, man, why y'all not treating him good? Why are you guys not being better to Kyrie during this situation? Right. And he would always defend Kyrie. And even when I talked to him last year, he was talking about how, it is frustrating that Kyrie isn't out there, but like it's his life. And, I respect him and I want to play with him for a long time. That was basically the gist of what it was. And I don't think that changes. And also like, I think that if there is an opportunity, this is just what I just think. And I don't know if they've been in cahoots and thinking of these things, but I could see a world where, they play together again, right? Where it's just like, hey, it didn't work out. It's not working out in Dallas. Do you want to figure this out in Phoenix? Do you want to do that? I could see that happening. What you think, Ryan? You smile.
Jesus Christ,
think, bro.
That's Jesus. God, that's a lot. No, and you might be right because I don't know KD like that at all. And the compartmentalizing thing was really interesting to me because those dudes really do have an ability to kind of when you're on a quest for legacy and championships and status as an all-time great, you develop the ability to do that. So if Kyrie is the piece he deems gets him closer to all of that, I could see that.
This episode is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong, but it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra is consistently smooth, constantly refreshing, and consistently light. It's the perfect beer for watching what happens by the trade deadline and all season long. It's only really worth it if you enjoy it. Like KD on the Suns and Kyrie on the Mavs, that's worth it if you want to enjoy watching how a transformed Western Conference team plays out the rest of the season. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment. Only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Head to MichelobUltra.com right now, where you can order ice cold Michelob Ultra delivered right to you. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Must be 21 years of age. Enjoy responsibly.